Democratic Senator Sheldon Whitehouse of Rhode Island, he's a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee, took part in the questioning of Attorney General Bondi at yesterday's hearing. Senator, thank you for joining us. We'll turn to the specifics of the hearing in a moment. But first, as Joe just said, the list seems to only grow of people the President of the United States says should be arrested. We can add to that this morning the governor of Illinois and the mayor of Chicago. But we should note, one of those people was just charged. Former FBI Director James Comey, at the direct behest of the President of the United States, asking his Attorney General to do so. And a few days later, we have himself, just a few minutes from now, being arraigned. Can you please weigh in on that, your level of concern about this remarkable acceleration of the President's direction at the DOJ?
Well, first of all, it looks like the firewall between the political side and the DOJ has completely eroded. But also there's the very peculiar parallel in time that you have a former FBI director coming in to be charged with lying to Congress. And just yesterday, the Attorney General of the United States lied to Congress and refused to give cover to her own FBI Director Kash Patel's lies to Congress. The DOJ had sealed his grand jury transcript, or that his grand jury transcript was now publicly released. We asked her those questions very specifically. She could have said, yeah, that testimony was sealed. She could have said, yeah, those transcripts have been publicly released. She didn't. And so Patel's lies as FBI director still stand out there the day before they're charging a former FBI director for what seem like even less likely lies, alleged lies.
So, Senator, the Attorney General had very few answers, lots of insults, but very few answers at her disposal yesterday. But now, a day later, what would you say one or two of the burning questions you still have that she declined to engage with yesterday?
Well, first of all, let's just, as Joe said, think about how weird this was. Instead of coming to answer questions honestly, she came to basically drop an oppo dump on a whole bunch of Democratic senators. And then she couldn't even remember her lines. So she had to go to her cliff notes of what the oppo stuff is she was supposed to dump. And then she got it wrong. She made up false oppo. I mean, one would expect an attorney general to be truthful. You'd even more expect an attorney general to at least have competent fact checkers. So two of the big things: what did Homan do with the $50,000 that the FBI gave him in a paper bag? Right? That's a pretty easy question to answer. Was there actually a sealed transcript of Patel's grand jury testimony after he pled the fifth and then got immunity? What's up with that? How about OPR? Did OPR look into Emil Bovee and his repeated episodes of prosecutorial misconduct? And if so, what was the outcome? These are all questions that are probably answerable under FOIA to a regular citizen. And so her unwillingness to answer to us under oath is a huge, what a poker player would call a tell about what's going on behind the smoke screen.
And, Senator, while we have you, of course, government shutdown is now more than a week on. What is your faith right now in the leadership of Senator Schumer, the minority leader of your party, to navigate this as more government employees potentially see their paychecks threatened and more Americans potentially lose various government services because of this ongoing shutdown?
You know, I think Democrats, it's so far so good. I think the two big flags flying out there, one is that the Republican speaker won't even bring the House back to face the Epstein vote. So they've just skedaddled while this shutdown goes on. And if you're not even showing up for work during a shutdown when you have the power to fix it, I don't think that's a good place for them to be. And second, Republican after Republican after Republican after Republican is saying, Democrats are right. We should extend the Affordable Care credits. So, okay, if we're right, sit down, let's negotiate that and put this behind us.
All right, Democratic member of the Judiciary Committee, Senator Sheldon Whitehouse.